Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. Hope you had a good weekend. Just wanted to go through what we did today to make sure everybody knew what they were supposed to be doing. It's continuing to work on our essay and our revisions. And what I have found from a lot of my students is that they're not working on their essay and revisions, and they're falling further and further behind. So we got to be sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do, so we can write a decent essay and get a decent grade. So let's go through our agenda for today. For September the 8th, Tuesday, we will focus on rhetoric and how it affects our readers and our essays. And I will look at my rhetorical appeals and revise as needed. And the closing question: how do we do the work when we don't feel like it? It's a question that we have to answer for ourselves, because nobody feels like working all the time. We all feel lazy, or we feel nervous and stressed. And the more stressed we are, or the lazier we are, the harder it is to get things done. And then guess what? We have even more work tomorrow because we didn't get today's work done today. So we want to be sure that we're focusing and actually doing the work. What's the best way to help yourself? Well, it's to be positive. So let's do our positive affirmations. Say it with me. What are you? I am smart, confident, and successful. Good, good. And how do I feel about writing? I love writing. It's so much fun. And how do you feel about revising? It's so cool. I love making my writing better. So say those kind of things to yourself. I love writing. I am smart, confident, and successful. And writing gets easier. So we were, I closed it. Let me reopen it. We were talking about rhetoric. And if you don't remember from last year, rhetoric is persuasion. You're trying to talk people into doing things. And with your essay that we're writing, you're definitely trying to persuade people that your opinion about what it is to be an American is something they want to believe. So we're just going to do a quick little review of rhetoric. So basically, it's the art of speaking effectively, but it's speaking or writing to persuade somebody to do things the way you want them to do it. Of course, we see that a lot in ads today. Advertising is everywhere. You can't watch a video more than 5 minutes long without having to see an ad in the middle, and that just annoys the heck out of me. But why is rhetoric important? Well, knowing when people are trying to persuade you to do what they want means that you can stop and think about it and ask yourself, do I really want to do this or not? Knowing that they're trying to persuade you can make it easier to make good decisions and not buy stuff you don't need. So let's think about rhetoric. First of all, there's logos. That's you're using logic. Logos, logic. You're trying to convince people using statistics and facts and evidence. So when people talk about studies, oh, in a study at Johns Hopkins University, 80% of people were able to, or according to doctors, 9 out of 10 doctors use Crest toothpaste. When you use those kind of claims, it's a good way to convince people, especially when you're talking about something expensive or big. How would you use logos in your essay? Well, you'd be using logos in statistics for any of the famous people you're writing about. If you have somebody famous, be sure you're telling us what are their stats, what have they accomplished, what awards have they won, and that'll make it more obvious about why they're supporting your thesis. And here's a little logos ad. The only orange juice proven to help reduce cholesterol. And of course, the asterisk means there's more information at the bottom. So they'll tell you, the studies that were done that help people be healthier. So buy this orange juice. Pathos. Pathos is Greek for suffering or experience. But pathos, we're talking about any emotion, not just being sad or suffering. It means the Super Bowl commercials that make you laugh. The Sarah McLachlan commercials trying to make you sad, showing you the shivering puppies who have been mistreated and wanting you to spend money to help them. When you're using emotions, you're also getting people to identify with your point of view. So when you talk about your family member who's succeeded, who came to this country and worked their way up to being successful, people are going to connect with that. So using those emotional appeals, telling them about the hard things they've been through and how they've worked to be successful is a really great way to get people to identify and connect with your essay. And here's a little pathos ad. We are not nuggets. Please don't eat us. Look at those cute, fuzzy little chicks. You know, if we actually had to kill animals ourselves, how many of us would be eating them? But that's kind of the point they're making, right? This is from the people for the ethical treatment of animals. And they're trying to get people to switch to become vegetarian. So that's kind of interesting. And then there's ethos. Basically, ethos is answering the question, why should I listen to you? Who are you that you're trying to tell me what to do? So it refers to your trustworthiness or your credibility. Do you have a PhD? Are you a famous person? Are you a celebrity? Are you a scientist? Are you somebody that I should listen to? Celebrity spokespersons are big. And in your essay, you may not be considering yourself a celebrity or a doctor, but if you've grown up in this country, you can talk about how you've grown up in the United States and know how things are. Or if you've come to this country, well, you can say, okay, this is how things are here. These are how things are where I came from. So you can give that kind of perspective into your writing. If you're able to do that, be sure you do that. So once again, logos, using logic. If you're talking about somebody famous, be sure you've looked up their statistics. Pathos, adding in figurative language and adding details. It means your audience is going to connect with you. And when you feel proud or you feel sad, they're going to feel it too if you do that. And then ethos, telling us about who you are and why we should listen to you. Those are things that you can definitely do in your essays to make it better. So, ladies and gentlemen, be sure you get to work. Remember, we should all know where the essay is. That's in week of 831. Wednesday's work. If you click on that, it's in there. But the important thing for us to remember is the revisions we're supposed to be doing. That's in Thursday's work, week of 831. So be sure you go into that and you actually go through the steps and do what you're supposed to do. Most of the reasons why we haven't done it, we don't trust ourselves. I don't know how to do it right. Well, if you have to, do it wrong. Get it done. If you feel lazy, well, it's time to get over that. That's where you have to suffer and do what you're supposed to do. So look through each part, right? The thesis, the first, what do you think, and the why. Be sure you answer these questions and fix what needs to be fixed. Fix what needs to be fixed in the body paragraph. Be sure you're adding in those descriptions and giving those details. If it's somebody famous, remember we talked about logos, add those things in and just go through these step by step, piece by piece, and make your essay something to be proud of. I am not somebody that's going to give you a good grade. I expect you to do the work. So be sure you're doing what you're supposed to do so you can get the grade that you want to get because you are smart, confident, and successful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have. If you need anything from me, please let me know and have a great evening. Bye-bye.